Good evening. It is 9 p.m. Welcome to Business Today. I'm Joran Paul Sonko with Winnie Buyinza Nakauchi on sign language. Thank you very much for joining us. And we start off with the United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, in partnership with the Swedish Embassy, have invested more than $5 million to support access for small and medium-sized enterprises in Uganda. As Pedison Mumbere reports, more than 4.3 million Ugandans have benefited from this initiative since 2016.
The UN Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, has been in Uganda since 1982. UNCDF makes public and private finance work for the poor least developed countries like Uganda. In the same way, the UN Development Fund, in partnership with the Swedish Embassy, had $5 million. According to Her Excellency Maria Håkansson, the ambassador of Sweden to Uganda, this relationship is targeting the small and medium enterprises' growth in the country.
The money we put in as a development partner has yielded concrete results, but also work as sort of catalytical. It has mobilized additional funding, and I think that forward in where we have to go in development cooperation to really get good results. What I also like here is that we support the economy and the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises, which is of course in this case particularly on renewable energies, but it's also part of developing the Ugandan economy, the business sector. I am happy in also enterprises owned by women.
UNCDF's financing models work through inclusive digital economies which connect individuals, households and small businesses with a financial ecosystem that catalyzes participation in the local and provides tools to eradicate poverty. Julius F. revealed that 4.3 million Ugandans have benefited from 780 solar products courtesy of the initiative.
As a result, 780,000, solar products, and this is solar for households, businesses, health centers, and communities. Improved cook stoves also for households and institutions, and also clean cooking fuels, especially biogas, LPG, and briquettes, are part of those 780,000 products. And those products have benefited an estimated 4.3 million Ugandans. From the product. In addition to that, I think there have been jobs created, more than 560, full-time jobs created, and about 2,100 commission-based and micro-entrepreneurs created out of this program.
There's still more work to done, and one issue raised was the cost of the electricity, and I fully respect that, and that it's still expensive for many end users, and obviously that has to do with the output and the demand, and though we are happy to the result from this intervention, we know of course that there is need for more. We see that far too have access to electricity, especially in rural areas, and as you mentioned, the cost. So this is I think we should celebrate the results, but doesn't mean that we stop or that we are satisfied with the situation as you, and we will work with partners such as UNCDF also going forward.
UNCDF focus on energy contributes to Sustainable Development Goal 7, which focuses on affordable and clean energy for all, and SDG 8, which focuses on decent economic growth, financial inclusion, and improved access to clean energy finance for poor and low-income people. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now we move on to the next one as the Uganda Revenue Authority is encouraging Ugandans to register their businesses as the country's chief revenue collector seeks to widen the tax net. URA is jointly holding a taxpayers conference in Barara with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to encourage the business community to formalize their operations as there is new tax measures in the new financial year. Here's the report.
Finance State Minister Henry Musasizi says the informal sector is a large and majority of the trading activities remain informal to the detriment.
We are encouraging taxpayers to formalize their businesses. Most of our business communities prefer to operate informally, and this kind of approach has consequences. You find we are using presumptive tax methods to levy the taxes, and sometimes in many cases these are not due taxes. So if you are formal, you have records and other things, it is very easy for URA to trail through your transactions and be able to assess the due tax. You find them fidgeting, trying to even pay our URA staff and other things. Yet in act we are formalizing. Most of these things they are paying for could be avoided. But the supplementary budgeting is not a good practice. It is budget indiscipline. For it to happen, something must be an emergency and something which was not foreseen, what we call unforeseen events that come after the budget has been approved. So it is not our wish that we keep Therefore, I don't agree with that argument that we spend anyhow. No. That expenditure anyhow is not there. People are not aware. We need to do more awareness creation. We need to communicate better so that we tell our people where this money is, how much it is, what are the terms and all the things involved. And I have picked it and I'm going to improve and inform people better.
The commencement date for the proposed tax changes is 1st July 2022. Following the enactment of the PFMA 2015, amendments to the tax laws as part of the budget cycle are passed timely. In the past, Uganda Revenue and Interim Collection Order, issued every year on 1st July of the financial year, as stipulated in the Tax and Duties Act 1963, to embark on a temporary collection of taxes introduced in the tax bills that were yet to be passed by Parliament. In the coming year, Parliament has enacted enabling laws: the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill 2022, the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2022, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill 2022, the Stamp Duty Amendment Bill 2022, the Tax Procedures Code Amendment Bill 2022, Tax Procedures Code Amendment Bill 2022, the Finance Bill 2022, Uganda Revenue Authority Amendment Bill 2022, Tax Appeals Tribunal Amendment Bill 2022, Traffic and Road Safety Amendment Bill 2022.
The staff that we have, business has grown. So we find that we do not have sufficient numbers to be able to go out to the field and make sure that our taxpayers indeed are attended to. But what we have done as well is to make sure that we automate a lot of these services, that we automate most of our functions. Now, we do not have to necessarily come to the URA. You can actually get this information now from the website. We also have a number which is on WhatsApp, really. So all these processes have come in to make sure that, yes, even if you do not have a staff that can attend to you, we still have our services online, and they should be able to fill in the gap that the staff should be able to do some of the work that the staff are supposed to do.
Catherine Namugera, Business Today, Smart 24 TV, Drive.
Our next report takes us to cage fishing. As cage fishing is is one of the most viable, innovative solutions to declining fish stock in Uganda. Participants in this type of fish farming have advocated for the value addition through reliable fish preservation methods to ensure increased exportation to the available markets. Exporters applying this method say 10 to 15 tons of fish are exported on a monthly basis. However, they still face challenges like high taxes that have been imposed on fish feeds. Naomi Mutumba has the details.
Fishery development is one of the key development goals embedded in Agenda 2030 under the 14th Sustainable Development Goal, in which countries seek to support the restoration of fish stocks to improve safe and diversified health diets.
Market here locally in Uganda. Then we've got a market in Kenya. Some of the Kenyan fish traders come and take fish here. And then of course Congo and Rwanda. Yes. Ways of selling fish. A lot of farmers sell what we call farm gate, which is just fish taken straight out of the lake and sold as it is. But with the changes, the evolution of the industry now, we've discovered that maybe it makes sense to do a little value addition to the fish and sell it in different ways. You can smoke the fish, you can sun dry it, you can machine dry it, you can salt it, and so there are several different things that you can do to the fish that helps you store it give it a longer shelf life, which means then that you are not constrained to sell it immediately you harvest. You can keep it for a little while.
Okisala n'okijjamu ebyana ne bakikuba wali omunyu ne tukyanika nga wayise ennaku nga bbiri sooka ne tukibika omunyu ogwo ne gukinoga bulungi ne tulyoka tukyanika mu kasana. Tukiwa ennaku ennyingi bbiri ng'omusana kweguli ne kikala bulungi ne kikola nga bwe twagala kuba tukikkiriza ggwamu nvunyu, tetwagala kigwemu nvunyu, kyagala tukisale nga kiri fresh tukyanike bulungi.
In Uganda.
All right, now let's head to internet. As since 2017, the government, together with development partners, have been scaling up internet access to all regions of the country through the National Backbone Infrastructure Project. Officials from the National Information Technology Authority of Uganda, NITA, have been at the media center today to brief the country on the progress of the project. Let's have more of the details.
According to National Information Technology Authority Uganda, the extension of the geographic reach of the internet broadband connectivity across the country is progressing according to plan, with over 764 kilometers of optical fiber cable added onto the government national backbone infrastructure as part of a World Bank loan worth $775 million.
Different functions, we enable the country transform is supporting these policies and also guiding government in the right policies to implement. We also promote digital technology by implementing this technology and services, digital services for government of Uganda. NITA, through support by the World Bank in 2017, undertook a project called the Regional Communication Infrastructure Project, RCIP. This was a $775 million US project that was implemented through different components. The major components, I'll just define a few of the components before we go into details. There was the enabling environment component. This was to enable government to have that baseline structure for digital services. There was a connectivity component. This is through infrastructure setup, data center setup, and other infrastructure. The e-government project, now this is where we were developing solutions, e-government solutions in partnership with other agencies. And the final component, this was a project management component. We have undertaken this project, or we undertook this project with 4 sectors in mind. This was sector, health sector, education, and the justice, law and order sector. And in all those sectors, we have fully developed and deployed solutions to enable them to transform.
Additionally, the cost of the internet has come down significantly as a result of the intervention, with bandwidth now cheaper in Uganda than our regional counterpart.
Also, digitizing, if there's an agency that is not fully digitized or that doesn't have its processes in a digital form, the UG Hub platform enables you to digitize at no cost. Where there's a function that we can implement on UG Hub, we implement it without straining the MDA. I'll give an example. We know that the most important information.
As part of the project, NITA Uganda has achieved significant progress in setting up information centers countrywide.
Is the sharing or collection of data into a national data center. And we know how challenging it is to set up a data center. Initial costs for a medium data center will be about, it will take you about 3 to 5 years to just have it operational. And after that, you have to pay licensing fees for about 500,000 US dollars to even about $2 million US dollars for just recurring fees. The NITA, through the RC project, expanded onto the existing national data center that we had, and were able to accommodate government systems, cost of about 40,000 US dollars per year. So the initial cost has already been covered. We are not required to spend that 10 million US dollars. You will request for hosting or data center services from NITA, and we're able to take you up. And the government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Finance, provides that support of maintenance, the licensing fee. Most of these systems come with annual fee, and the support and maintenance are managed by NITA.
Winnie Nakauchi, Business Today, Smart 24 TV, driving business.
All right, now, moving on, Uganda's long wait for oil is nearing its end as key players continue to ready themselves for Uganda's fast drop of oil in 2020. Investments are being undertaken primarily in the Albertine, Graben and other operation areas across the country. Rona Nahabwe reports.
The value of contracts to be awarded to Ugandan companies during the financial year 2022-2023 is projected to be in excess of $1 billion US, coupled with an exciting growth in employment and opportunities for the provision of goods and services. In the preceding 2 years, investment in the Uganda's oil sector has grown from $180 million US in 2020 to $500 million US in 2021, and is projected to grow to $3 billion US in 2022.
Ugandan companies were awarded $10.7 million in the country country's oil and gas sector. In the year 2021, the value of contracts awarded to Ugandan companies in the sector increased to $200 million. This is almost 20 times increase over 1 year. The value of contracts to be awarded to Ugandan companies during this year 2022 is expected to be in excess that were awarded last year. The growth in the numbers for employment and in the opportunities for providing goods and services in the sector are going to be discussed during the subsequent presentation, but they are equally exciting. Honourable Minister and distinguished participants, the third annual National Content Conference is therefore being held at a very opportune time when the country is witnessing the opening up of opportunities for Ugandans and Ugandan enterprises at a scale that has not been witnessed in the country before.
The Petroleum Authority of Uganda is inviting other related sectors to actively participate in the key investments and developments towards the exploration expected to begin in 2025. Key among the sectors needed to participate are the construction, tourism, finance and information services, among others. At its third National Content Conference held at Kampala Serena Hotel, are asking other players to help accelerate the oil development sector for socio-economic transformation. The theme of this year's conference is to create lasting value through enhanced national participation to accelerate Uganda's socio-economic transformation. Uganda's benefits from the oil and gas sector can be further enhanced by extending the focus on national content, but also focus on how the sector relates to other sectors in the economy.
In the oil and gas sector through the following efforts. 1, build the capacities of Ugandan human resources in the oil and gas industry, promote employment of Ugandan citizens and enterprises in the oil and gas industry, develop the competitiveness of Ugandans and Ugandan enterprises as suppliers and joint venture partners. 4, increase the use of locally produced and available goods and services by the oil and gas industries. And 5, promote in-country and technology transfer to Ugandans. So implementation of the policy is ongoing, and government is rolling out an aggressive strategy of ensuring that all the facets of the policy are taken forward as the country progresses into development and oil production.
The opportunities are immense, but they will require participating sectors to prepare adequately, according to Penina Ahebwa, the Director Technical and Support Services at the Petroleum Authority, Uganda.
Say close to 1.2 went to Ugandan companies. Ugandan companies as defined within the law, but also there is a good number, a good percentage, perhaps 60%, going to Ugandan companies that are owned by Ugandans. But like I said, for us, the key driver is, are you in the country? Are you adding value? Are you employing Ugandans? That is the key. And when you do that, then you qualify.
So will you rush and grab a fortune from the windfall? Rona Nahabwe, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
All right, Rona Nahabwe with that report. Moving on, the first Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honourable Litwala Rebecca Kadaga, has today handed over a brand new tractor to Nsituriruka Irundu Rural Development Cooperative Society in Buyende, Best Saving and Credit Association in Irundu Town Council, Buyende District. The tractor was first requested by the cooperators 2 years ago, but was then procured by the Ministry of Agriculture with missing spare parts 2022.
Addressing the function at Irundu Modern Secondary School, the first Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honourable Alitwala Rebecca Kadaga, noted that the machine was requested by the SACCO members and the government through the Ministry of Agriculture, handed over the tractor in February of 2022 with missing parts. After installing the missing parts, she handed it over to the SACCO. Kadaga added that she is moving around, sensitizing and mobilizing the community about the new government project of parish development model. She further cautioned the people of Busoga of the new wave of the coronavirus, insisting that the communities should observe the coronavirus SOPs. The chairperson of the Rural Development Cooperative Society, Ngia Wilbur, appreciated the first Deputy Prime Minister for fulfilling the government pledge.
The Right Honourable Rebecca Kadaga for the effort he put in robbing for us the tractor and even robbing for us the financial assistance from other organizations. Actually, we are going to improve on our output through improving the cultivations.
Biandala David, the Irundu Town Council member, applauded the first Deputy Prime Minister for the tractor that is going to benefit the whole Town Council of Irundu.
Given us a tractor and a new one, as I'm seeing it, which is going to create some savings to the members, whereby when somebody takes that tractor, it will be earned from hiring that tractor, will come back to the circle. Then the members can use that money as dividends and they take their children to school as school fees. The tractor is also going to enable us to increase on the acreage that we do the farming, because with the hand hoe, you know very well that this is fading out, because the hand hoe cannot grow or cannot help a farmer to grow crops on bigger acreage. So we thank you very much.
Nathan, Mwesigwa Ismail, Business Today.
Let me get the name right. It is Nsituliraku Irudu Rural Society, based in Buyende, that was given the tractor. Okay, moving on, we head to the free trade zones as Uganda's contribution to the global trade still stands at 0.02%, despite efforts to boost investments and production over the last 5 years. Uganda is still importing more than we export, hence the unfavorable balance of trade with several barriers, but the authority is trying to change this trend, as Rona Nahawe reports.
East Africa's combined population doesn't produce enough either, recording a $553 million deficit by April 2022. Uganda must seek the elimination of several barriers to trade freely with Africa's 1.5 billion people that provide a primary market to her goods. The Middle East is equally vast enough to help Uganda reap from it, but still barriers hold the potential. Uganda Free Zone Authority has made pricking revelations in its latest research findings showing a negative score in the country's trade balance. Uganda Free Zones Authority regulates and creates an enabling environment for export-oriented investments. Its priority sectors include agro-processing, manufacturing, mineral benefits, and business support services. Among free zones in the country are Entebbe International Airport Free Zone, Jinja Free Zone, Kasese Soroti Free Zone.
Actually informing me that there are concerns, and so we would like to encourage these the groups that are talking about these challenges to approach us. We sit down and find common solutions to these challenges, if and when and where they exist.
On some rather you're required to say 80% of the export by law outside the East African community, which we refer to as our domestic market.
He mentioned that if you can't export 80% of free zone output, then you are not eligible to have a license to operate a business under a free zone.
The Act of 2014 is limited in scope. It talks about largely two schemes. One is the export processing zones, and the other one is free ports. But as we may be aware, at regional level, continental level, and even globally, there are so many other things that are coming into place. For example, would like to operate a special economic zones arrangement. Okay, that is more flexible and does not necessarily look at the 80%. Okay, the threshold is much lower, and it also allows sale on the local market, but the due taxes are paid in that regard. We are also looking at painting the regional and the global business process outsourcing that requires the establishment of innovation and technology hubs, which are not provided for in our law. We are also looking at tourism parks, techno policies, and so on and so forth. So all these things are not provided within the scope of our law. That's why we want to amend it and be able to provide.
The procedure to register a business under the free zone is quite affordable.
The focus from the research paper to what I do as a business development officer. Now, I cannot say all, but basically, as an authority, for you to join the free zone, there is a process. Okay? There is a process. So what happens is this. We do not have a threshold on capitalization. As long as you have money and you're exporting legal commodities, you have the opportunity to apply to be licensed. Now, in the process of licensing, what happens is this. You come to us, apply, and then when you apply, we evaluate the application. We forward the application to Ministry of Finance and Judiciary to issue a statutory instrument that will make you licensed. There are checks and balances. And some of the clear balances about climate change. There is no free zone in Uganda that is licensed without an environmental social impact assessment. It is a very important document that whoever does not have that does not qualify. Okay? Irrespective of the fact that you're exporting 100% and going to deliver for Uganda 300% or 4,000%, as long as you do not watch climate issues and environmental issues, you do not belong to a free zone. Okay? Now, I have been asked about sectors. I'm trying to keep it general because those were the questions. So clearly there's a procedure. The products are anything exportable. We don't have a limit as long as it's a legal product and it is environmentally friendly. A discussion can happen. There are checks and balances. We do not have any type of people who refuse. Anyone can apply for a free license, but there are conditions. You have to register a company for the purpose of setting up the free zone.
Rona Nahabwe, Business Today, Smart 24 TV, driving business.
And with that, we take a short break. When we return, we have the coffee call.